We got 4 hours to build. Let's go.
Constraints lead to creative solutions.
Don't build another chatbot.
And I'm feeling like a full-blown beginner right now.
I haven't done much with vector databases, so I've been very nervous about this.
I'm good, but I know other people are freaking out.
You're writing Python? Come on.
It turns out building a really cool app is hard.
Yeah, just having to like shift my mental model a little bit.
What's the vibe like right now?
Tense.
I'm supposed to look very serious for this, right?
I'm so excited to have you all here for the first ever in-person For Web Devs One app. This is going to be an absolute blast. So this particular episode is being presented by DataStax. Thank you so much, DataStax and Carter, for being here.
My name is Carter Rabasa, and I'm the head of developer relations at DataStax.
So 99% of people and devs that build on AI for the first time, what do?
Build a chatbot.
They build a chatbot. So here's the challenge, right? Don't build another chatbot. The truth is, like, there's a ton that you can do with vector databases and vector search. Obviously, like with any challenge that's worthy of such amazing people, we've got some rules that we need to follow. So the number one rule is the app has to work. Like whatever you're trying to build, whatever the user is trying to do, the app should provide a pretty awesome result. The second thing is all the apps need to use AstraDB. So AstraDB is the vector database from DataStax. You've got 30 minutes to plan, and you've got 4 hours to build. And we're gonna have an awesome time, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, let's go. All right, everybody, so we're going to talk about vector databases and vector search. And what I want you to visualize is that a vector is just like a point in n-dimensional space. So a vector represents a point. So here we've got a vector, and here we've got another vector. So like, let's pretend for a minute that this vector represents dog, this vector represents cat, like they're all pets. And then over here, this vector represents coffee. The point of the vectors is that they help create a sense of like what things are close to each other and what things are far apart. But you might be asking, like, how did hamster and dog and cat get turned into these coordinates on the system? And that's where LLMs come in. There are literally dozens, hundreds, maybe even thousands of these large language models, and they understand how to take words and turn them into vectors. Your app is going to have content. You're gonna have content through the LLM. So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna send some content over here. And then what the LLM is gonna give you back is that array of numbers that sort of transforms the content into a space in that vector space. And then what your app is gonna do is you're going to insert a document, in this case into AstraDB, that has all of the information about the content itself plus vector database. So you're gonna store all of your normal JSON attributes, and you're gonna store this vector information.
I have like absolutely no idea what I'm gonna build today.
I'm Jason. I live here in Portland, and I just do silly stuff like this for a job somehow. I have not used much of this technology at all, and so I kind of feel like I'm on my first day of school here. I don't know the jargon, I don't know how any of this stuff works, so I'm feeling pretty at sea. At this point, I'm most nervous about getting something to work. I'm realizing how much of a gap there is between what I know and what I need to know to make this app actually function.
My idea is to try to build a better like video suggestion model for my own stuff, because I've got like 400 episodes.
Hell yeah, exactly.
And so my thinking is I can feed in my transcripts as well as the other the metadata.
Yeah.
And then just on a straight up basis, like I'll know the vector of the episode because I'll have created it when I created the episode. My bigger question is, these transcripts are for 90-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Are those going to be too big to create vectors for?
Normally what you do is you break them up into chunks, and then you actually vectorize the chunks, and then you store the chunks in the database. So you'll actually have like n number of chunks for like a single episode. And then I might just use the description of the video that you're on as the source vector. Every chunk gets pointed back to like the source video ID. So you have parent children, right?
So if it matches a chunk, what we surface is the video.
I think so. So, right?
I'm happy I'm sitting behind Lizzie. I'm just going to cheat off her work.
Well, she's doing Python.
You writing Python?
Come on.
Okay. I'm Lizzie Siegel. I'm a developer advocate at Cloudflare, where I work on AI demo applications, and I work with developers, teach developers, speak to developers, serve developers. I haven't written much down recently, so I was excited to like scribble in my notebook. LLMs are kind of like me sometimes, where we're very confidently incorrect. It's interesting because I'm like, you have the data, but what if the LLM doesn't correctly use the data? And I'm like, it's there. Using structured versus unstructured data, how would that affect?
So basically, like I think vector search is useful whether the data is structured or unstructured.
I'm Jack Herrington. I'm a full-time content creator. I was really worried about just connecting to the service, getting that all set up, but it was super easy. The plan is to create a Dungeons & Dragons adventure creator. It's going great. I'm super stoked about it. I'm actually thinking that's a really cool project.
My name is Chance Strickland, and I'm here from San Diego, California. So my plan is I'm going to build Carter's Burgers. We're going to build basically a burger generator. I've never actually worked with AI. Working directly with it is new for me. So a little nervous, but very excited to learn something new today. You're gonna validate my diagram.
Oh my God, it's so good. The whole point was to not build another chatbot, and people have come up with some amazing ideas.
All right, everybody. Everybody's feeling planned. Everybody's feeling good.
Yeah, let's go.
We got 4 hours to build. Let's go.
Halfway through. How do you feel about your progress so far?
Feeling good. Was nervous at first. Overall, my progress is coming along. Excited for what's to come. It started out serious, so it was like taking text input, but that's no fun.
Yeah.
So I added a multi-select, so you can like select different text box, different options. And I'm currently working on a slider. So on a scale from Jabba the Hutt to Poe Dameron, how attractive is the villain of your fanfic?
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm halfway through and kind of working, sort of working. Maybe get there.
Yeah, I'm like super confused by what I've done to myself here. So
I'm having to learn a lot of new terminology and jargon. It's just not stuff I've ever worked with, and so it's hard to Google because I don't even know what the words are that I'm supposed to be Googling. So I'm spending a lot of time kind of asking Carter or asking Lizzie, like, what is this? Like, what do I even search?
But if the video I'm watching is literally about like, contributing to open source, like that's what the title of the video is, that's what the meta description is, presumably that's the single most relevant thing to me in terms of like what I care about. So then you would use...
So then I would build an embedding...
You'd compute an embedding based off of like contributing to open source or like the description, whatever. You'd use the title / description. Yeah.
So, and because it's an episode, can I generate those ahead of time? Like just take each episode and like create its search token or its search vector.
Yeah.
So that now, so then my new collection would be like search.
Yeah.
And so then I would use the slug to look up the search token for the thing and then send that like vector into the other database and say like use this as your starting point.
100%.
Oh, there you go. Here's another thing you're
That's right. It's a winning
strategy. Lean on you. Fantastic. Oh, so good. Oh, I think I'm doing really great. The application's coming along. We got some more like styling problems more than anything, and I'm doing some prompt engineering now. I'm not really a prompt engineer, but trying to like hone it in to get the exact right, response. So that's really been good. But I gotta say, the vector search was just so easy. It was ridiculously easy.
Progress right now, I think I feel really good about it. Got a lot of really good data back from the LLM. Tons of really great, interesting burger recipes and ingredients. Now it's just time to put it all together, build the UI out, and yeah, make sure it's very user-friendly and start generating some burger recipes. So unexpected thing, really for me, it's just like the mental model of the vector database. Just having to like shift my mental model a little bit has been interesting, but making it work. It's going well.
Yeah, you know, I was really optimistic and positive earlier. And what did you say? We're more than halfway through. I think we're coming up against the wire. Folks are racing to the finish. I still believe in them, but it turns out building a really cool app is hard.
I'm supposed to look very serious for this, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm building very serious work here.
This is like literally everything I've built so far, and we're over 3 hours in. So. This is pretty badass. Is yours actually working? Oh god, yeah. Oh fuck, do you want to finish mine? No.
ChatGPT, take these ingredients and then just do my reverse. You put it back into a bird kind of thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go. Looks pretty decent, right?
It does look pretty decent.
There you go.
We got left 30 minutes. Oh my god.
30 minutes, whole UI.
Getting down to the crunch time. How are you feeling? What's going on? Where are you at?
I am frantically trying to make my app prettier.
I'm just honing in on the feature set. I'm adding settings and locations. I'm actually really proud of this thing.
I only have like a tiny bit of UI built, so trying to really slam a whole lot of website together in the last 10 minutes or so.
What's the vibe like right now?
Tense.
I'm good, but I know other people are freaking out, so love it.
I'm okay with the functionality. It's inconsistent, but working.
T-minus 1 minute.
There's been some compatibility there.
It was a huge challenge for everybody. I think all 4 people in there are incredibly experienced web developers, but none of them had any experience with vector databases, vector search, or even working with LLMs. I think things turned out really awesome. All right, what's up, super friends? Who's excited to show off what they demoed?
Woo! I am.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm like still a little sweaty.
All right, so this is, the idea here is you've got a party of D&D adventurers, right? And you get to add your own D&D character from D&D Beyond. You can create your own party, that sort of thing. It cooks up an adventure for you.
Wow.
And importantly, up at the top here, tells you that the vector search took about 800 milliseconds and the AI took 2.6 seconds. So that was what's happened first. We basically did essentially averaged all of these players into one sort of meta player, which was our input vector. We had all of the potential D&D monsters preloaded into our AstroDB database in vector form, and then I did a vector search, found out the top 20 monsters that were good for that particular group, and then pass that off as context to OpenAI to then generate an encounter based on the monsters that you see here. So instead of using an embedding from OpenAI, which would give you 1,536 point vectors, instead we've got a very simple 7-point vector. I can definitely see myself in the future using vector databases, not just for embedding stuff that everybody seems to use it for, but all kinds of ideas. And I think that was one of the things that I certainly took away from it, the power of just being able to search vectors super quickly.
You had enough time to not just build your app, but put like performance marks.
I'm absolutely losing my mind right now.
I was fighting for my life.
Yeah. I'm actually so angry right now. I'm not even lying. Yeah, this is insane.
The most surprising thing was just how much Jack got done in his app. I mean, it was just incredible what he made us do.
What a show off.
Love it when a plan comes together, in all honesty. I mean, I came in with a plan, executed on that plan, and did even more than I thought I was going to do.
All right, well, I'm going to say I have regrets about letting Jack go first.
I'm happy that I finished. I feel like that went really well.
That went well. You actually finished. All right, we'll take it.
This is my highly polished attempt at making a similarity search for my videos. Okay. But so what this is each one of these is a slug of one of my episodes, and what I wanted to do was take the episode itself and have the other episodes set up as vector embeddings so that I could search for similar episodes based on what the actual content is. So using the transcript, using the title, description, all that stuff. So the way that that works in practice is you click one of these. So this is the actual episode that we clicked on. So this is using Remix, and it just pulls in the slug. And then down here we have the episodes that were considered to be related. Right. So then if I click on one of these, so you can see that these are all kind of considered to be similar to each other.
Actually going through the process of building this vector database, seeing that I could build my own set of data and use that as a search base, I think really kind of helped me see that there are a lot of ways that I can use this that are way more practical than what I did today. So I can see how this will work its way into some of my future projects.
I did all the embeddings on the index page, and then I just like commented them out so that they didn't run on every load. I pulled in like some helpers from LangChain to split my transcript up into smaller chunks, and then I went and got each individual episode so I could have the transcript. Yeah. And then used OpenAI, and here's where I'm like using Astra to set up collections. I've got one for the videos, and then I've got search, which is just the slug, and the actual vector is like the description of the episode. And so I'm using the search collection as my vector that I'm searching for inside of the videos collection to try to get similar things. And that's how we end up here.
Once I got past the mental model of it, I think how familiar the basic steps were. But once you get down to the mechanics felt really familiar, and it felt a lot easier to build than I expected.
Star Wars fans.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Anyone's favorite character in Star Wars?
Han Solo.
Ideal vacation spot?
I want Han Solo to go to the caves.
On a scale from Jabba the Hutt to Poe Dameron, how fire is the villain of your fanfic? Attractive.
Oh, attractive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
Jar Jar.
No, like, keep going.
Dooku.
Wait, Jar Jar is your 50-yard line?
I think you put him a little high.
I know we want you on this list.
Let's see what this does. And we're gonna generate some fan fiction.
Here we go. Wow.
Image generated. Ooh. So that's Han. Here we have
Han Solo was a human male.
So you can play around with this yourself, but let's look at some code.
Yeah, let's see how it works.
Yeah. So we have a lot of collections because I got all these data sets from Kaggle, and then I uploaded them to collections on Astra, and they return objects. So we have to convert those objects to a string to pass to another LLM request to generate the story. This is what characters looks like. And some of the data was bad, so I had to like take it out. I am a humongous fan of Streamlit. My teammate Craig Dennis got me into Streamlit. It's a Python web framework to build web apps. Some of the images generated were not very good. Like, they were scary. And I tried to generate an image of Jar Jar, like removing a tank top's sleeve, because that's what you said. And the images were not good. So that was a limitation of the image generation model.
I mean, that feels like a good common sense limitation.
Yeah.
Image generation is hard.
I thought Lizzie's fanfic generator was just like really, really creative, right? You know, it's like it was a journey to even kind of like go through her web app, you know, going bit by bit, making all these choices to end up with this cool fanfiction thing.
I kind of had to like backtrack a little bit after I started, when my brain was still in relational database mode. I definitely made a couple mistakes that, you know, when you're on a time crunch, it just kind of, you roll with it, right? So backtracked a little bit and really simplified it to the point where our database, it's a single collection of ingredients.
Yeah, and you got those ingredients actually using ChatGPT, right?
I did very little writing of anything myself. It was great. So what I did to start this whole exercise was I went to ChatGPT and I said, I want a burger that sounds like something that Bob would serve. I want it to be a little off the wall. I want it to have a punny name. Give me a burger. And he gave me one burger. And so I basically just kept going down that path, and then I took the burgers and I said, well, now just compile a list of all the ingredients you just told me.
Right, which is what you've got in the database,
Yep.
right?
And so if we take a look at the Data Explorer, I took that list of ingredients that ChatGPT gave me and I turned it into this JSON blob of data. So if we take a look, there's a couple of loaders here, or actions here, that will show sort of how I did a few of these things. So the first thing was basically, after I got the ingredients list, I took a list, I just basically plopped them in this giant static list of ingredients, and I went through and generated embeddings based on those ingredients, right? And then I just returned that data, and from that data, we were able to take that and generate a burger embedding based on the description. Then we're going to search through our Astra database using that embedding.
Yeah, it was a little stressful there at the end. That sort of, it had that reality show kind of feel where you're pushing there at the end. AI is one of those things that it's just a fact of life now. You know, like all of these tools are really just good to have, and you never know when they'll come in handy. So we'll see.
I think what surprised me most was how much fun the group had. I thought it was gonna be like pretty serious. Like we were all gonna do our own thing and not really talk to each other. We kind of fed off of each other's energy, ideas, and I think that influenced some of our work. That influenced my work for sure.
All of these ideas that I got from the other folks is just, you know, fantastic, and the creativity they showed is just astounding.
I don't know, like it always surprises you how great people are at just building things off the top of their head.
It was great to see such smart people tackle and struggle to learn a new thing, but kind of come out the other side feeling like they'd actually learned something useful that they could, take with them and do other cool things with.